Welcome back for your finale helping of Oysters, Clams, and Chicken Coops presented by Bolin Media. I am Ross Bolin here with Barrett Dudley to discuss and review the final episode of Task, episode 7 of Task on HBO. Barrett, are you emotionally prepared to unpack this finale?
I've steeled myself, and I'm ready.
Look at us, recording on a Sunday afternoon before Gen Pop can even watch the episode.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were allowed to even comment on this.
Oh, we're commenting. We're commenting. We're bragging.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a sign that after nearly 10 years, we've officially made it as a TV podcast. That's my take on this.
Nine years in the game.
And we finally got screeners for the last couple episodes of a major show that we're covering. We didn't take advantage of it last week because the schedule wasn't going to work out anyway.
Well, and they didn't send it to us.
But here we are, recording early for the finale. We watched on a very special app, and it was thrilling. It was, as you said, I think it was intoxicating.
It was intoxicating. I felt so cool.
Watching on a Thursday or a Friday when nobody else can even fire it up until Sunday night.
It was sick.
They've got to miss Sunday Night Football like plebes.
Yeah,
you know?
Not us, buddy.
I'm kidding. You know, there's something enjoyable watching it communally with everybody as well.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, obviously for our jobs, this is helpful and a big deal.
Correct. It's helpful and a big deal. Those are the two most important things. And look, obviously somebody out there knew that we were covering this show. And I guess, covering it well, if we want to gas ourselves up a little bit as well. And we should just let them know right now if they got peoples out there.
Hey,
we're gonna be covering Night of the Seven Kingdoms in January. We'll certainly be covering House of the Dragon season 3.
Euphoria probably as well.
Most likely Euphoria. So keep them coming is what I'm saying.
Shout out to the good people at HBO's third-party marketing partner for recognizing us as worthy.
There you go.
Because this is a cool experience. So yeah, if you're wondering how this podcast went live immediately after the finale aired, Barrett and I got to watch it early so we could record early. And we've been doing this podcast for 9 years, and this is the first time we got offered screeners, so we feel pretty cool about that. I hope you all feel cool about that as well.
Huzzah.
The finale picks up right where the penultimate left off, with Tom Brandish showing Aaliyah Bullseye Clinton the file that reveals Grasso was suspected of helping the Darkhearts on a past task force. And Aaliyah's like, there's a pattern here. And Tom's like, yeah, but we don't have any evidence. And now the investigation is in the hands of OPS, so we can't really do anything. And Aaliyah's like, well, okay, but let's at least go to Wissahickon Park and take a look around.
Yeah, you got to go to Wissahickon.
You got to check it out.
You got to check out Wissahickon.
Gotta. Everybody's gotta. Meanwhile, Mother Club Vincent goes and meets with Grasso's Delaware County boss, Mike, and tells him that they got a dead federal agent on their hands and they need to cut ties with anyone and everyone who can connect them to this disaster. So last week we kind of speculated that it seemed like it was maybe Mike that brought Grasso into the crooked life. And I feel like this episode all but confirmed that.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump straight to this part right here.
Yeah.
There is never any conversation about what Grasso's tie was to anything about the Darkhearts.
As far as like maybe having grown up with Jason or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that little piece that we got from an inside the episode, post episode 5 or something like that, never comes up. Seems to be something that Brad Inglesby let the actors kind of cook up so that they could do their best work almost.
Right. And just to clarify, if you don't watch the after the episode, Inside Task or whatever it's called.
Task Unmasked.
There was a part where Fabian Frankel is talking about how basically him and the actor who plays Jason came up with their own backstory for their characters.
Yeah.
That they were maybe childhood friends or something like that.
Yes.
And I was annoyed by getting exposed to that.
Uh-huh.
And I've let it go, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed even more unnecessary to include that in the after the episode, considering there's a pretty clear, obvious explanation. Like, oh, it was his boss.
Yeah. And he had an opportunity to make some money so that he could provide more for his family and his sister and all
and
that
his
type
mom.
of stuff. And his mom.
Yeah. They gave us all of that.
That seemed like enough.
Y'all didn't need to have this sidebar conversation to come up with this weird explanation about your character's relationship.
I just thought that was interesting because after we had acknowledged that they mentioned that, I think we were on reverse sides. You thought that it would never come up and that they had said that because they were not going to give that to us in the show. I thought it would be weird to give us that and then not have that play at least a minor role or give it a nod or something.
Right.
And then here with the scene with Vincent and Mike, it's kind of like, all right, so I don't think that was actually written into the show. In fact, it's something totally different. I'm with you. Letting it go did not affect this episode in any way for me, which, by the way, I guess I should just say now I fucking loved. Like, I thought this was an excellent finale. But yes, just wanted to note that here in the scene with Mike, it's kind of like your first clue that he was the guy that probably kind of roped Grasso into this, gave him this opportunity, dangled the money in front of him, basically.
Yeah. And so for this reason, I am once again all the way out on these inside the episodes that air after the show, man.
Also pretty sure that he insinuates that he has been kind of planting the seeds that Grasso is unstable and that they are going to frame a suicide, basically.
Yeah, so Delaware County Mike tells Mother Club Vincent that the feds came by yesterday asking about Grasso and that he told them he'd been acting strange lately and erratic. Quote, so when it happens, it won't be a surprise. So here he has already been made aware, like...
They're going to knock off.
Grasso's going to have to go.
Yeah.
Mike also says there's a drug runner named Lee Whitehead who operates out of Reading, and he moved 11 kilos last night to a Colombian organization. Mother Club Vincent is like, forget the money, man. We need to clean house. This was a weird little part here because Mike is the one that has to talk him into it. He's like, no, it's a lot of money. Isn't it at least worth like looking into? And Mother Club Vincent is like, you know what, Mike? You're right. Good call. I will have a look-see into the money.
So I kind of thought that Vincent was doing like a sure, whatever, bud. Like, you do that.
Right.
Because cleaning house probably means that your ass is on the chopping block too.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make sense that like Mike is safe enough, but Grasso isn't.
Well, and you're right. That is very much the case.
And it seems like that, that's sort of how it plays out.
It is.
But yeah, it was...
But they do end up looking into the money. So it's just strange. He kind of takes Mike's advice and also still has him on the chopping block.
That's true. But I think that, throughout this, there are so many pieces of connective tissue to the wire, right? But it's like, the body's got to stop dropping. Because that's what
That's what brings the heat.
That's what brings the heat. You've knocked off a police officer, or a
federal agent,
federal agent here already. Like, you gotta tone this shit down. Otherwise, this is all fucked for everybody involved.
Right.
So that's why I think he's maybe like not originally concerned with the money, because he's far more concerned with keeping the operation alive at all.
Yeah. Then Mother Club Vincent's cell phone rings and it's Perry. Old Pear.
Old Purr. They're calling, but when they do the purr, when they shorten it, they go purr.
Not pear.
Not pear.
Purr.
Which I have also found interesting.
It's very...
hey, purr.
Delaware County.
Must be.
They just say it different.
Yeah.
So Purr asks Vincent where he stands. Like, where do I stand, Vincent? And Vincent...
Where do I stand?
Vincent asks if... Purr is exhausted at this point, man. He's burned out. This guy's got nothing left in the tank. Vincent asks if Jason is still with him and says, you take care of that kid for your brothers before he brings us all to our knees. If he's dead by the morning, I won't come looking for you. And Perry is like, Jason, no!
So it sounds like Perry is he's out.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think, which also feels like a lie, because as we know with this lifestyle, they don't just let you walk away.
Let you walk away, yeah.
So it seems like what Vincent is actually doing is getting Purr to take care of Jason, and then they're still probably planning on taking care of Purr.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So he goes inside, Perry does, and finds his fish gutting knife. Then he stands behind the stairs and waits for Jason to come down after his shower. But Perry can't bring himself to gut Jason like a fish. He loves old Jason like a son, Barrett.
He's a son.
He can't do it. Yeah. He can't do it. Tom's daughter, Emily, is helping Sam settle into his new room with his new clothes. Tom and Sarah discuss letting Sam decorate his own room so he feels like he has a place that is his own. Good strategy. Sarah asks how long Sam will be staying there. Tom explains that the conservator will let them know as soon as there's a family lined up to actually fully adopt him. Mm-hmm. Could be 3 weeks, could be 6 months. Nobody knows. So just for the foreseeable future, Sam is a part of their family, right? Tom insists that his caring for Sam has nothing to do with trying to fill the hole left behind by his son Ethan, his adopted son Ethan. And then Aaliyah Clinton shows up so that her and Tom can go down to old Witchawacken Park.
Wissahickon.
I'm going to call it different things. It's a bit. Grasso, the rat bastard, drives down to see his sister and nephews. They call him Uncle Ant. Which just for some reason made me think of Anthony Edwards. I don't know why. Anyone says Ant.
Ant-Man. But ants can be a, everybody, and it's Delco, it's Montco, so obviously we're doing a thing here where we're just shortening everybody's first name to the first syllable.
Per. Ant.
Yeah.
His sister gives him a hard time for being DJ Grasso no pussy, and this guy cannot catch a break in terms of getting made fun of for not getting laid. And he's like, hey, listen, you're going to hear some things about me. Barrett, you're not going to believe this, but it turns out Grasso's evil deeds were actually motivated by an unselfish desire to take care of his family.
Yeah.
Which worked for me. I don't like that this worked as well for me as it did, but because it feels a little bit like a cop-out, like, oh, the bad guy who got Lizzie killed, basically. Uh-huh. You could blame all of this on him solely if you wanted to. And in the end, he kind of had pure motivation for becoming the crooked dickhead that he is.
I thought this was excellent. I liked this. I think we were maybe on opposite sides of the fence again last week when on how we felt about Grasso and kind of where he was mentally. I think I had taken his regret and his concern for Lizzie
as legitimate
and at face value. With the house scene with Tom, you had felt like he had kind of like been faking that and turning into his true form.
Yeah, like he took the mask off and was a complete sociopath.
Sitting there at Tom.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't feel that way. I thought that in that scene with Tom last week, he's very much like trying to be the brave boy. He's trying to put on that front of like smoking the cigarette and having
drinking a beer
and having the witty lines like,
yeah,
I'm gonna protect myself. Like, fuck you, you can't prove this, basically. But but I feel like everything that we got before that, and then what we get in this episode, is this guy having this massive crisis of self and of faith and of everything,
morality,
which is what this show is about. It's like the main theme here, right? And so I liked this that we do get this kind of this bit of redemption for a guy that has sold his soul a little bit, and we start to get it here, and then obviously that continues through the course of the episode. But this worked. I liked this.
Yeah, this was fantastic.
You want to like Grasso. He's a charming guy that we were kind of Grasso.
Yes,
no,
yes, yeah, dude. He's a likable piece of shit, and that's what this show is. Like you said, like Robbie was the same way. Robbie kept doing things. I'm like, dude, you seem like a really good guy with a good heart. What the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
That's how you end up feeling about Grasso too, and it worked. Like I like that I couldn't get a read on the dude.
Yeah.
Even last week. Grasso's mom got sick. He started doing dirt so that they could move her into an expensive place with a view with a garden view. Mm-hmm. And he lied to his sister when he said he had a friend who hooked them up. It was him who paid the money. He also bought his sister this house because she and the boys needed to get away from her evil ex. And he said some colleague gave him a deal, but he lied. He paid the money. Money he got doing things for people he shouldn't have been involved with. And now because of him, this girl got killed. And his sister is like, what the fuck, dude? So the police know? And Grasso explains that they don't know, but he's going to tell them because he can't do it anymore. He's suffocating. And his sister tells him that she knows who he is. No matter what they say, she knows. And there's kind of a quick exit from her. She's like, all right, I got to take my kids to school or whatever.
Nice bit of casting, though. I just felt she was just great for this role. They could have gotten somebody flashier, I'm sure, to like pop in and do this. But like, they just got somebody that felt very, authentic again.
Yeah, and again, I can't give enough credit to Fabian Frankel as Grasso.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is really, really good. Yeah. I hope to see him in more things on HBO. Hashtag HBO family. He's amazing in House of the Dragon. He's so hateable, and yet that is a very different villain on House of the Dragon than the one we dealt with in Task.
Yeah.
That is so much more redeemable, and that you are, or at least I was, and I feel you were as well, like rooting for sort of through it all, even as things got really shitty. You're
I mean, in the scene with Mike and Vincent, I'm like, oh no, don't knock off Grasso.
Grasso, no.
Like even after he just got Lizzie killed, I'm like, I don't want him to die.
I know.
So it was very
Because he's morally conflicted.
That's right.
And aren't we all?
Yeah.
So out at Wisna Checha Park, Tom and Aaliyah find Biff Moward's car from when the Darkhearts drove him off the road.
Yeah.
Old Cliff. And they find Cliff's cell phone, which has been shot. That was the only thing that flagged for me as a little silly in this episode when Aaliyah's like...
I think she was just like, wait, did it have a bullet hole in it?
I think so.
Or was she just saying it's shot, like it doesn't work
It's shot
anymore?
to shit, like the saying?
Yeah, like, oh, this thing is shot.
That's a good point. It looked like somebody just saw it and went, I'll take care of this cell phone. Bam! And just put one bullet straight through the screen.
Okay.
Which is stupid compared to like taking it with you.
Yeah.
But Tom insists there probably aren't many phones out there late at night and that pinging the cell towers could be a way they figure out who else was out there. Tom and Aaliyah go and visit Kath and share with her the information they got off the cell towers, which shows that someone at Wissahickon Park and had Ray Lyman's cell phone. Ray being the hideous Delco native who...
Yeah.
Who tried to rip off Robbie and Cliff. So the phones were swapped by Grasso, and the only way to prove it is to get into the evidence locker they no longer have access to because they've had all their credentials pulled. So they need Kath to go in. And Tom also tells her that they need their guns back. Kath is a pill-popping animal at this point.
Kath, another low-key scene stealer on this episode, man.
She is.
I loved her sitting in her house, drinking wine at 11 a.m., popping
perks or whatever she's got going, Vicodin.
And then the scene where she goes and talks to the analyst, I like just the little, it's little tiny things, like when she flips his tie back down.
Yeah. Yes.
So good.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that occurred to me as a result of, in large part, some of these Kath scenes is like, you had suggested earlier in the season this might have worked better as a movie.
Yeah.
You don't get that kind of character build up with a movie, though.
Yeah.
You need the 7 hours to get those little moments.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, but I completely agree with you. That's one of the things that made this show so fucking good, is that it's the little side characters with 10-second scenes, and you're like, yes, it's awesome. So Kath needs Aaliyah Clinton to help her put her pants on because she's faded. They take Kath down to the station. She gets Ray Lyman's burner phone out of the evidence locker, and they try it. And it doesn't work because someone switched it out. It's a plant. They have to find the real phone, and they need to do it without a search warrant. So Tom gives Kath the idea of using her savvy young analyst to help them out here. So she pays that savvy young analyst a visit and says, I need you to do something for me that we're not allowed to do, and you're going to do it anyway,
He's looking at memes while eating lunch.
And I think he thought, like, some other woman walked in, because Kath walks in and shuts the door before he can even see who it is, which kind of gave me just a side thought that, like, oh, this guy's banging one of his coworkers.
Yeah.
He's kind of a sleazeball.
Yeah.
But
he seems surprised to see Kath.
Yeah, he definitely is. That's not that important, though. So, the analyst helps them get the info they need, that Ray Lyman's phone last pinged on Saturday night at 12:58 a.m. about 2 blocks from Grasso's house. Meanwhile, Aaron's body washes up and is collected by the authorities. Actually, my first watch through, I won't lie, when they just randomly show the body floating through the quarry or whatever, I was like, well, who the hell was that? I'd almost completely forgotten about Aaron, which is not cool. So it turns out when Perry was drowning her, she grabbed his, like, what is that, a wallet chain?
It's a wallet chain. It's his wallet chain, yeah.
She held on, did not let go. Rigor mortis ensured that this chain floated along with her, and his chain has the initials PD on it, which stands for Perry DeRazzo. That's his last name. So it's why you don't get your initials put on your wallet chain.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Come on, Per.
Yeah.
Per. Back at their safe house, Perry surmises that Robbie must have sold the drugs before he came out there and that the money can only be in one place, Maeve's. And Perry tells Jason to call his boy Breaker and tell him they're going to pay Maeve a visit. So I'm doing some assuming here because I'm not terribly clear about the situation, but it seems like since Jason has gone missing or is on the run, that they've got Donna, Perry's old lady, and Breaker, one of the gang members, staying at Jason's house to take care of his kids.
Okay.
I think.
That makes sense. Yes.
I think that's what was going on. It's also possible that that's Donna's house and that Breaker is there for some other reason.
Right.
But
I think
But
you're
yeah.
right, though, because there's a scene, I think, in last episode where Pear asks Donna to go check on the kids or something, isn't there?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure we get a little note like that. So
I think so.
I think you're right. I think this is Jason's house, and Breaker has been, because Donna says later, she's like, Breaker's been hanging around.
Yeah. So Donna overhears this call between Jason and Breaker.
Yeah.
And that comes into play. So Maeve shows her coworker the $1 million in cash that a stranger handed her at her front door, and says that part of her wants to hand it over to the cops and just be done with all of it, and part of her knows that Robbie died so they could have it. And Maeve, being smart, I was so happy for this, says somebody has to know this money is out there. Somebody has to be looking for it. And I was like, thank God, because I hate when characters make stupid, illogical decisions, right?
Yeah.
So her friend tells her to hide it somewhere close to the house where she can keep watch over it. Put it there and wait 6 months, a year, and if the cops come looking and find it, well, you didn't know it was there. Robbie hid it. And if no one ever comes, then you go and you make a new life with the kids. So Maeve hides the money in the chicken feed like Tony Soprano does with his money in the duck feed.
Yep.
Which I
Very notable. Couldn't not think of that.
had to.
Yep.
Had
Yep.
to. Go ahead.
Oh, I was looking up to confirm that the woman, the good person woman,
I'm a good person.
I'm a good person. That's Mickey Sumner, who is Sting's daughter.
Like actual Sting's daughter?
Yeah, like Sting, he's out there, he's making music. Like, I don't really listen to much of it, but he's out there and he's making it, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sting.
That's Sting.
Okay. Wow. That's a random fucking connection right there.
Yeah.
So it turns out Perry's old lady Donna didn't like what she overheard on that call between Jason and Breaker, and she made a call of her own to Mother Club Vincent. And Donna tells Vincent that Jason was talking to Breaker about Billy Prendergast's daughter Maeve, a young girl who's got nothing to do with any of this.
So did she decide to basically rat them out because she was worried they were going to do something to Maeve?
That was my read. Yeah.
Okay.
I think she was like, enough is enough. These people are sick. She already kind of seemed like she was a little torn about her relationship with Perry in general as well. You know?
But in a way, she kind of like throws Maeve into even more trouble here, right?
Kind of by accident, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Vincent says something like, she's like, why would they be going out there? And he's like, I get a pretty good idea, but don't even worry about it. They're never going to make it there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Donna tells Vincent that Jason and Perry are at her mom's old place in Stroudsburg off Bishop Hollow Road, and Vincent sends his very face-tattooed friend out there to go and deal with it.
Okay. Those are real tats. That's not, he didn't sit in the makeup chair to get those.
I don't think so.
That's a guy who literally has 1%er tattooed on his cheek.
Yeah.
And I'm just always curious how, like, we talk about how you can't really get out of these gangs.
Like, how do they do that casting? How'd they get a hold of that guy?
How'd they get a hold of that guy who clearly was in a biker gang / is in a biker gang?
One potential thing is that, like, he's super face tatted and they added the 1%er one in or something.
That's a good call. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
But I'm with you. I looked at that guy and went, oh, that's real.
That's real. Yeah,
that's all real. Nothing acting about this dude.
Yeah.
So out on Bishop Hollow Road, Perry strips butt ass naked to go for a little river swim. My wife was like, why is he naked?
He's washing. He's washing.
He's got one set of clothes out there too, I assume. I don't think they've got a bunch of extra clothes up in Donna's mom's old house or whatever. So you can't go swimming in the clothes.
Remember, the shower's broken.
And the shower's broken. They're having to use the sink. So that he's washing. Yeah, he's washing. He's washing. Washing up. Jason gets a call from Breaker that they found Aaron's body out at the quarry, and that's not all they found. He's referencing Perry's wallet chain. So Perry is trying to enjoy his naked wash when he hears motorcycles riding up. He starts running out of the river or whatever he's in towards Jason. Jay, we gotta go! But Jason stabs Perry.
He's got the fish gutting knife.
Yeah.
Turns out that Pear's the one that gets gutted like a fish.
He says, I know what you did, I know. It's very Godfather Part 2.
Yeah.
I knew it was you. You broke my heart. And as Purr is dying, he gives Jason one last gift. He's like, they're coming. They're coming. So Jason floats Perry's naked body down the river one way and runs off the other way. If you're trying to sneak up on someone to assassinate them, maybe don't roll up with 3 hogs.
Yeah, on your hog? Yeah.
That's the thing about the hog.
They make
They're
a lot
loud.
Of noise. They're very loud. Very loud.
Not sneaky.
No.
So I just made me laugh.
They'll give you away from quite a distance.
It's like a quarter mile.
Yeah.
They can hear these dudes coming. Like, come on, man. Get a silencer for that hog.
again, it's a podcast, so I gotta drop notes as well. Did you find it strange that Breaker somehow knew about the wallet chain with the initials that indicated Perry, or did you just kind of think to yourself like, oh, he must have some other connect in the police department that tipped him off to that?
The latter.
Okay.
I was like, okay, somebody they've got
They've got a guy,
somebody
another guy
that feeds him info,
and they dropped the dime on him because like. There's no way that just some normie would have that type of information.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's not something I don't think the police would release that to the public.
Right.
We found a body
1 hour after they found the body.
And it's got the initials PD on the wallet chain that she was holding. We're looking for evidence. If anybody out there knows a PD, holler at us. I assumed it was because there's some other rat. Right. And based on the fact that
they got a lot of rats. Yeah.
Delaware County Mike is like the head of that department and is a rat, you can assume.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rats on this sinking ship. So yeah, there down goes Per. That was it for him.
Yeah.
He's a goner. Very tragic relationship between him and Jason. Could bring down the whole goddamn Dark Hearts, man.
Yeah.
So Sarah and Emily, Tom's daughters, help Sam decorate his room with a bunch of animal posters. Sam wants to go to Dairy Queen. It's just a little 2 minutes of like a reminder that everyone here is human. You know?
Yeah.
Like Sarah talks about how pregnancy ravages your body as a woman and you can't have Dairy Queen blizzards anymore or whatever, you know? But
again, I really liked all this. I you know what I mean? Like it felt like payoff for having Phoebe Fox in the show almost, that she had stayed and like mended the fence with her sister and maybe her dad a little bit too. And that both of the sisters who kind of like told Tom that this was a bad idea are kind of like buying in, helping this kid out. They're putting up the posters. They're going to go ham on a peanut butter blizzard something or other.
Yeah, she doesn't say blizzard, which really pissed me off. I was like, what? She said parfait or something. And I was like, oh, God damn it.
Oh, no, because that's a real DQ thing. A peanut buster parfait. That's it.
Peanut
buster parfait.
Yeah, but you're doing DQ.
But doesn't she say I haven't had a blizzard in a long time, or did she just say I haven't had Dairy Queen in a long time?
She says I haven't had DQ in a long time.
You're sad that blizzard was not mentioned by name.
I wanted a blizzard reference.
Yeah.
Sue me.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I agree. You end up loving this family,
right?
Like,
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
This very modern family, right? So, so Tom and Aaliyah are headed out to Grasso's. Grasso's boss Mike, unfortunately, is already waiting outside of Grasso's house. Mike talks to Mother Club Vincent on the phone, who tells him that they got a lead on the money and his guys are on it. And Mike is like, yeah, good thing I suggested you dig a little deeper. Don't forget about me when you guys are chopping up that pile or whatever. I was like, Mike, you're never getting any of that pile, brother. So Mike heads inside Grasso's house to kill him. But Anthony Grasso is ready and waiting, disarms Mike, sits him down in the kitchen, gives him a Coke. Another brilliant scene because it feels so freaking real. He's like frantic, grabs the gun, immediately gets him into a chair, and then like forces a Coke on him.
Yeah.
Like it just, I don't know, something about how frantic and like quick moving he is with all this.
Did this remind you of another scene?
Yeah. That sodaless, or that sugarless motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's the last drink you're ever going to have. That's another Sopranos execution right there. So Grasso questions how Mike has done this as long as he has, says he's only 2 years in and he can't sleep, he can't eat, he's got restless leg syndrome. Mike says, you know, I used to be like that too, but you find ways to rationalize it. Like I put my 2 boys through college. And Grasso's like, I know you did. And even that moment is a really good one because he's like, it's like both of them recognizing, or Grasso being able to recognize in Mike that you made all these horrible decisions for the same reason I did.
Yeah.
Initially, anyway. You know, and then I think you probably lose yourself in it after time.
Totally.
So Grasso tells Mike he spoke to OPS and he's going in tomorrow without a lawyer. He's done. Mike tells Grasso that Robbie sold the drugs and gave the money to his niece Maeve, and that there are guys going out to Maeve's house right now. And so you can see Grasso like starting to panic, like, oh God, I've put more people in danger. I've got to do something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Mother Club Vincent blows Mike's head off. He and Grasso shoot at each other. Grasso kills Vincent, but he gets hit in the lower abdomen himself. I couldn't even tell that it was Mother Club Vincent at first. I was like, oh shit, who would that? I had to like rewind it and pause.
Yeah, they give you a little shot of his face when he gets winged / I guess maybe right in the heart. He seems dead.
Yeah, I think he's a goner. Yeah. But at first, it did seem like maybe that was like a shoulder shot, and he might be okay. But no, that was Mother Club Vincent.
That was yeah.
He's gone too, and Grasso has been shot. So yeah, clearly Vincent's plan was to have Mike take out Grasso, and then Vincent was going to take out Mike. Yeah. No loose ends, right? Grasso puts pressure on his gunshot wound and peels out down the street in his car. And Tom and Aaliyah get a call from Kath letting them know Grasso is on the move towards Maeve's house. So we've got a big showdown at Maeve's house, cooking like a stew, baby. And speaking of cooking, fall always feels like a bit of a reset between back to school, busier routines, and shorter days. Finding time to cook can be even more challenging than usual. That's why we love today's sponsor, Factor. Their chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic the season gets. Factor is full of variety with an insanely impressive amount of meals to choose from. And if it's been a while since you checked out Factor, they've got an even wider selection of weekly meal options now, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Support your wellness goals with Factor. Enjoy even more GLP-1 friendly meals and their new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good-for-you fats. Whatever your diet, you can find what you need with Factor. Savor global flavors with Factor. For the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. I've been eating Factor for years now, and I love it. If you're like me, there are some days you get home from work or school or whatever, and you just want to be able to plop down on the couch and enjoy the next episode of your favorite TV show without having to worry about what's for dinner. Factor takes this dream, makes it a reality with the best meals delivered straight to your door. So many good options, so much good food, great smoothies and juices as well. Eat smart at factormeals.com/OCC50off and use code OCC50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code OCC50off at factormeals.com/OCC50off for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. You can find a link and the details in the description of this episode. So, out at Maeve's house, she's doing laundry when she sees Grasso's Grand Cherokee pull up and crash into a small shrubbery. It just kind of rolls into this little tree. So she goes out to the car. I love how he rolls down the window. He's slumped over against the steering wheel and still is just rolls down the window with one finger. And he says, Maeve, you got to leave now. They're coming for you. Everybody's coming. So Maeve grabs Robbie's kids and gets them in the car in their garage, but she forgot the keys. Maeve, no! Oh, man, I hated this scene. It was awful. So she has to go back inside, and you knew it was going to happen. Guess who's waiting for her there? Jason. Jason asks her where the money is. She denies knowing what he's talking about. Then Robbie's daughter, Harper, who was just told to stay in the goddamn car, comes in like an idiot. Yeah. Now he's got a gun pointed at her. Long story short, he shuts the door, locks it so that Harper can't come in, and Maeve tells Jason
the threat of Harper injury or death is enough to give, Maeve's going to show Jason.
She's got to give it to him.
Where the money is.
Got to give him the money.
Thank God Jason is not the ultimate monster. He doesn't kill the kids.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Maeve tells Jason she'll tell him where the money is. Tom and Aaliyah roll up to Maeve's and see Grasso's car as Maeve is digging the money out of the chicken feed for Jason. Maeve gives Jason the money in the bag, and then they hear car doors shutting. So he takes Maeve hostage, covers her mouth with one hand, gun to her head with the other, shuts the doors and the windows to the chicken coop. Tom and Aaliyah find Grasso bleeding out in his car, and Grasso says, Jason's here. Tom calls in an officer down quietly. He's not yelling it. Officer down out here. And
send backup.
Asks for backup. Then he and Aaliyah head toward the house. Tom clears the downstairs, sends Aaliyah upstairs. Then Tom heads outside, spots the chicken coop, and he's heading toward it in super slow fucking motion in a brutally tense scene. Yeah. And Jason notices him, can see him through a crack in the door. He's got the gun pointed right at Tom, and man, I was worried about Tom here. They had me on the hook. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna kill Tom."
So this was all extremely well done because I had answers. I could answer every question that I was thinking about for why Jason wouldn't do certain things. Why wouldn't he just shoot Maeve? Well, because if he shoots Maeve, that's going to be a huge sound. It's going to give away his position. They're going to immediately be coming after him. And Jason, at this point, needs the $1 million so that he can flee and get away and run from the mother club.
Yeah, he's in the position that Robbie used to be in.
Yeah. So he can't. So Maeve is off limits until the cops are gone. And then he doesn't shoot Tom because he knows the same situation. He knows there's probably another cop in the house that will immediately be tracking him. So there's too many variables. His best bet is to stay quiet and to eventually be able to run without giving up that he's there at all. So that, if you're asking those questions, you can kind of do the quick math on why he wouldn't do something heinous.
So just as Tom is about to get to the chicken coop where Jason has a gun aimed right at him, Aaliyah fights off Breaker upstairs, pulls her gun, shoots Breaker in the chest. And so Tom hears that, turns back toward the house to help Aaliyah. Jason forces Maeve out of the chicken coop and toward a car, but Maeve fights him off and starts screaming for help. Harper hears it, once again refuses to wait in the car. This time it works out, though. So kids in the show never wait in the car. That's a thing in Task. And she gets out, leaves her brother behind so she can tell the police Maeve is in trouble. That's what she tells him she's going to do. So if you were wondering, as I was, because I did not catch this on my first watch through, how Grasso goes from being in his Jeep Grand Cherokee bleeding out to in Jason's car waiting for him, this is how. Harper runs up to the kitchen window and opens it, looks out at Grasso's car, and then we don't get to see what happens, but clearly she got Grasso's attention somehow, and that sent Grasso, I guess, dragging his bleeding out body across the driveway to the other vehicles. So we did not get to see that clarification on screen, which is why it kind of went over my head my first watch through. Anyway, the point is, Harper did end up playing a massive role in how this unfolded. Jason shoots at Tom and Aaliyah through the sliding glass door when he's like making his way around the house with Maeve, because at that point Tom and Aaliyah are obviously aware of his presence. A standoff ensues. Aaliyah is like, "Let me use my bullseye superpower. I can take him." And I was like, "Here it comes.
I think I've got the shot.
Here it comes. Take the shot. Take the shot. I've got an angle." Yeah, but Tom's like, "No, it's too risky." Jason's yelling like, "I'll kill her. I'll fucking kill her. No, get back." Classic standoff shit. Tom looks over and there's a split second where he notices Grasso is no longer in his vehicle, and I was like, oh shit. So boom, headshot. Grasso pops Jason in the head, crawled his crazy ass all the way to the backseat of Jason's car. Grasso, yes! Yes! So Tom runs up, checks to make sure Jason is dead. Aaliyah disarms Grasso. Tom checks on Maeve, sees the giant bag of money partially unzipped, grabs it, looks at it, zips it back up, and then he sits down, and I think he was kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what's the move here?
Yeah.
You know? I almost like to think maybe he prayed about it a little for a second there.
I bet he did.
What do you think, God? I take this money? Do I turn this money in? Do I let this girl have it? But Tom is letting Maeve keep the money.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Great.
Fantastic. Let's go. Everybody wins.
Look, remember around the time that Diff Moward is getting saran wrapped in a fucking basement?
Yeah.
You're wondering if the show is just how bleak it's going to get and what it's going to leave you with.
Yes.
What note is it going to play at the very end? Will it be hopeful? Will it just continue to bash you over the head with like how dark and brutal the world can be? This is earned. This feels good. And that's okay. It's a TV show.
It's okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's okay.
Accept that love into your heart. Don't be selfish with that love.
No, man.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so this was, this is one of the elements of this finale that really I thought really landed the plane and made this show feel just super well done. And when it was all said and done. And I also loved the first 30 minutes. Like, this is, I had complaints with the structure of episode 6 because they had cliffhung us on episode 5. We wait a week and then we kind of get the climax where we had already seen the buildup. This, you don't know what's coming in this first 30 minutes. So the first 30 minutes is action packed and you're kind of like off to the races pretty quickly. But the build is fast, but they give it to you in that first 5 and 10 minutes. And then it's just like this super tense thrill ride for the first half of the episode. I loved how they wrote the scene here because you're so ready for Aaliyah. Bullseye, she's got the patch, put it on her chest. And this is the classic scene. How many times have we seen this where somebody has a hostage and some sharpshooter marksman, they risk it all and they go for the headshot and they usually get it. And so you're just waiting for Bullseye to knock off Jason.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful omission that you don't see what Harper does. The Grasso headshot came out of nowhere for me. I had like they do give you that split second where you don't see Grasso in the front, but it's not enough time for you to like fully
to register. No,
to
not
register
at all.
it.
No, the only reason I have those notes as specifically as I do is because of the rewatch I did.
And then he bags Jason, right between the eyes, and it's just like beautifully done. Really well done. Because
right between the eyes.
I fully expected Aaliyah to be taking a headshot here.
Yeah, so they didn't hit you with any of the really cheesy options that they could have.
Yeah.
Aaliyah taking that shot would have been cheesy.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah.
The way it unfolds instead shocks the hell out of you and redeems Grasso even further.
Yep.
It's beautifully done. So finally, backup arrives with an ambulance for Grasso, and it's all over.
On the pan out, when Jason's slumped in the car and Grasso is basically like hanging out the back seat, where were you on Grasso living or dying?
I had a pretty good feeling he was going to survive because when the backup rolls up, it's like one squad car followed immediately by an ambulance, and I was like, well, clearly they'll handle him first. And no doubt he's in bad shape.
He'd been bleeding for quite a long time.
Yeah, good 10, 15 minutes of blood he's lost there. Yeah. But he seems like a fighter. So I had a good feeling about Grasso. I wasn't, and frankly, at that point, he's redeemed himself in such a way that I would have been okay with him dying too.
Well, sure. But I think that we kind of also needed the wrap up on Tom Grasso.
I think it's a lot better this way. Yeah. So later at the hospital, Kath gets bitched out by her superior, but doesn't care because they're forcing her retirement anyway. What a waste of energy from that guy.
Yeah.
And she tells Tom that they asked about the money and that the agents found the bag full of Canadian Paradise flyers. And so she's thinking Jason went to Maeve's house looking for the money. And Tom's like, unbelievable. And she's like, did you notice anything when you were there, Tom? And he's like, nope. You know what they say about wisdom, Kath? It's knowing what to overlook. It's a great line. Mm-hmm. Tom thanks Kath for everything, then heads in to visit Grasso. Tom tells Grasso that his sister is on the way, should be here very soon. And Tom turns to leave, and then Grasso says, hey, boss, aren't you going to give me my penance? And Tom replies, I never gave anyone penance. People beat themselves up enough on their own. Common Tom Brandis truth, cold-ass line.
Yeah.
And this scene was so good because I felt like they were going to overdo it. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, here we go. Tom and Grasso talking again, going to give us like a 5-minute scene here. Nope, this is like 20 seconds.
Yeah, pretty quick.
You're in and out, man.
Yeah.
And it's very effective. So back at Tom's home, he checks on Emily. He thanks his daughter for taking care of Sam in his absence and for taking care of him and his drunkenness. It's like a nice little subtle reminder that the first 5 episodes of the show, Tom is just piss drunk every time he's not on the clock.
At the bottom of a Phillies cup.
Yeah, so he asks Emily if they can talk about Ethan's sentencing hearing statement, and he tells her, we have to speak the truth even when we're afraid it's going to upset others. And he apologizes for not being a very good father to Em lately, tells her he's going to do his job of keeping her safe and making her feel protected moving forward. So the next day, just to wrap things up here, Tom's old priest buddy arrives to ride with him to the sentencing hearing. They leave Sam behind with Emily's magician boyfriend / babysitter. Love that random character.
That's great.
At the hearing, Tom Brandis stands up and makes a statement on behalf of his family, delivering a gripping monologue that should be seen as the high point of an incredible season-long performance from Mark Ruffalo here.
Yeah.
This was so good.
And I thought that a really subtle reveal about this show that we kind of get a little bit in the previous episode with Robbie kind of, exiting stage left, but especially as hammered home here, is that really this was the Tom show. That's who this show was about. And it had unbelievable 2 characters from Maeve and from Maeve to the task force and Grasso and Robbie obviously as well.
Yeah, Robbie's like 1B that first 4 episodes or whatever.
But really this is the journey is all about Tom. And I think even all those other characters kind of play into to Tom finding like his true role. We talked a little bit about the connectivity between one of the authors that the other priest mentions, and how like in one of those papers it's all about like that they're referencing, it's all about your task in life and like your role. And I thought about that again because this is really like, what is Tom's role? And he didn't find it in the priesthood, when we get a lot of that discussion between him and Grasso. But at every turn, he's doing priest-like and fatherly things. He's helping other people through their own situations in a different way, through a different, just through a different model, basically.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that this, again, like really, really nice scene here when he delivers this incredible monologue. I just liked how, like, at the end of it, you're like, it takes you the whole 7 episodes, but really this was about Tom the entire time.
So the long and short of his little speech here is that from his perspective, his adopted son Ethan was a sick child, voices in his head that told him to do things, right? But Tom's wife was as loving and as good of a caregiver as you could possibly have, found new doctors for Ethan who put him on a medication that helped him, and for a time, they allowed themselves to see a future. But the pandemic hit hard, and there was a shortage of Ethan's medication, and the voices returned angrier than before and told Ethan to kill Tom's wife, Susan. Tom makes sure to point out there was also so much joy, like the first time that Ethan called Tom Dad, or when he bought 25 burgers and handed them out to homeless people, when Ethan's art teacher told Tom what a bright light of a child he was. If you held on to every tear in your body during this monologue, I applaud your coldness, because I was like, I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. Tom turns and addresses Ethan directly, tells him he doesn't want him to live with the shame anymore, tells him he forgives him and he loves him. And he says he's not here today to tell the court that his son Ethan should be released. That's not up to him. But he's here today to let Ethan know that when that day comes, he'll be ready.
Yeah.
Come straight home. I'll be there waiting for you.
Powerful stuff, heart-wrenching, well acted, without lines from the guy that's playing Ethan there.
Agreed, yeah.
Unbelievable stuff. As you mentioned, tear-jerking as well when he's talking about the joy that they experience, and he forgives him, says he's going to be ready. All that being said, I can't believe that all it took was missing the medication for voices to return, tell you to kill somebody, you do it, and then you're like, yeah, I'm ready for that. So even at the end of all that, I was like, God, man, Tom, are you sure? Are you sure you're ready for this?
Is this the right choice?
Is this the right choice?
Yeah.
So that, again, just like a side note here, that I still felt a little bit conflicted, because, like, I don't know, like, or about a lot of things. How is there a shortage of the medication for that's
because that was a thing during COVID.
That serious.
That was a thing during COVID.
Like, people
man.
are going to do murders if they don't get their meds. Like, get them their meds, man.
Yeah. No, and I mean, look, I think a big part of it here is, like, Tom is making this decision and making this statement under the assumption that they will be able to get him the care he needs if he is released.
That's right. Yeah.
So that they'll be able to get him the meds that do keep him in a
yes.
place where he's not a danger to himself or others.
Right. Right.
You know, but and also it's the bigger theme for Tom is that after the loss of his wife and these tragic circumstances, he feels incredibly compelled to carry on her legacy.
Yep.
And they really hammer it home that,
Yes.
like, he's trying to do right by her as much as possible, and this is what she would have done. This is what she would have wanted, right? So, yeah, it's an insanely difficult choice he makes, for sure.
No, and I think that the risk of it all is kind of that's accepted as well. That's part of what he's doing, is that there is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That this is a scary undertaking, or could be, if you're not prepared for it.
Which is about to come back up as well.
He is,
yeah. So not a dry eye in that courtroom. Then from the sentencing hearing, we flash forward, and clearly time has passed, and Sam has been living with the Brandises for a while now. There are pictures of Sam on the fridge playing baseball.
Yep.
There are 2 sets of binoculars on the porch because Sam does bird watching with Tom.
Oh, I missed that.
He's got his own monogrammed backpack with his name on it. Sam does. Tom's Phillies cup, once used to drown himself out, has been transformed into a birdhouse. Everything tied in on this show, man. Mm-hmm. Tom and Sam are gardening together in the yard. Tom sends Sam inside, and the dude from the adoption agency or whatever arrives and tells Tom they finally found a family for the boy. Sam, no! So Tom talks with his priest friend.
Yeah.
Daniel. And this is when the whole risk of Ethan thing kind of came back into play a little.
Yeah.
Daniel tells him he's not sure if Tom is in a place where he can meet the needs of a young boy as he grows and matures, especially when Ethan comes home.
Yep.
And Daniel assures Tom that he has done a good thing, but did he do that good thing, like, for the boy or for himself more, right? And Daniel says he knows how close Sam and Tom have become, and he knows that what he's asking is hard. He's asking Tom to be unselfish with his love, to recognize that what's best for him might not be what's best for the boy. And then Tom asks, and how do I know what's best for him? And we don't get an answer. And I like that they left us with that. Like, ooh, you don't even get to know. You don't even get to know how exactly it is that he finalized this decision, right?
Yeah.
And man, I got to tell you, like, you go from that question to, you can see the house is set up for some special occasion, and Tom has like this vision of his wife setting up flowers. I think that was on the day they first got
that's right.
Ethan and Emily.
Yep.
And I held out so much hope, literally until I couldn't anymore, that Tom had made the decision anyway to keep Sam. And I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I do not hate it at all that he made this decision. Because, like, in hindsight, it's like, well, okay, not only do you have your, schizophrenic son coming home at some point, you're also still an FBI field agent. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Tom's career. They don't really mess with that part of it. And frankly, I don't need to know. But
kids are grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like,
he's not a spring chicken.
He's not in the phase of life to raise a young boy like that. So it does make sense. But I wanted it so bad.
It was tough. Yeah. Especially when the family rolls up, and I was nervous for Sam because they've got another son. And I don't know. Sam's kind of he likes chickens, and he's quiet. He's quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe a little soft spoken, a little dorky.
My note
and
was,
a little young fratling that walks up with that family. I'm just I don't want Sam to get bullied by his true-born brother. You know what I mean?
My note
I hope
was,
that's a good kid. That's what I'm saying.
That better be the nicest fucking greatest family to ever walk the face of the earth. That was immediately, like, I was like, these people better be saints.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tom in the end makes the decision. Emily and him and Sam welcome Sam's new adopted family to their home to meet Sam, and from there, Maeve takes Wyatt and Harper 6 hours and 7 minutes away to wherever their new home will be. # chicken butthole.
You got to think they're going to Canada, right?
I thought that was the implication, but I don't know. The
chicken
drive.
Butthole.
I just don't. I made that assumption too. I was like, okay, so they're going to go across the border. They're going to go to Canada.
So on the Maeve thing, Tom lets her keep the money. Vincent got. He didn't seem all that concerned with getting it in the first place. Do we think that enough people have been, tied up essentially, that nobody is going to come hunting for that money still?
I still think if you're her and you've got those two kids in your care, you can't take any risks. You got to play it safe, and you got to bail. So,
definitely have to bail.
I think that's part of the reason that she is going 6 hours and 7 minutes away, because she knows there is an off chance
that
someone else knows that was the one place the money could have gone, and they've got to get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, because nobody shows up. Nobody, right? Like, what Vincent and Mike were talking about, how they had somebody out on their way out there as well. So yeah, we get Jason out there, but nobody else. Like, I thought that the implication was that Vincent and the Mother Club folks maybe had somebody on their way out there too.
Yeah, maybe they didn't yet.
Yeah,
or something. But yeah, you got it. They got to bounce.
Yes,
they got to.
Seems like she's not going to sell that property either. She's just going to hold on to it. Not going to rent it, but it's just in her back pocket should she ever need it.
Maybe a little Airbnb action
could
during
be.
busy season
in a couple of years once the heat's died down.
Yeah, because people want to go to the quarry.
Yeah.
They want to run through the woods to the quarry. That's just the whole description of that Airbnb right there. So, Maeve takes a photo of Harper in front of the house before they leave, to remember. Mm-hmm. And then the end of the show is we see Tom repainting a room, which I think is Ethan's room.
I think that's right.
And he sits down on the bed. He looks out the window. He hears birds chirping. He smiles and closes his eyes. Roll credits. And it took me, like, I rewound this and watched it a couple of times because I was like, what's he looking at out there? What's he see? And there's like that like garden arch thing that he's got out there, And I was trying to remember if that was something that had come into play earlier in the episode. Of course, there's the stuff with the vagrant bird, and that obviously matters to some extent. But the Ethan's room stuff, I think, is like, you got to give Ethan a fresh. If Ethan comes home, which it seems like is
likely,
probably going to happen, you give him a fresh start.
Right.
You don't want him going back into the room that he was in when he committed this horrible murder, or manslaughter, or whatever he ends up getting. Mm-hmm. So So yeah, that was, like putting a fresh coat of paint on everything there at the end and getting one last look at Tom as he sort of seems like he's found some peace in his life, right?
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, like he identified his purpose, his job,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And what makes his life meaningful. And that was that. So you said it earlier. You loved this.
I thought it was awesome. Really, really great finale. Great finale for me. Fully brought this home, and I thought it elevated the show from maybe where I had it placed one episode prior.
I completely agree. This was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the best finales I've ever seen. Like, it was that good.
Yeah,
and it took any issues that we might have had or that I might have had with episode 6 or some of the seemingly silly decision making. Like, why did Kath let Grasso go out to the forest? All that. Having had more time to sit with it, like, well, you could write that off a couple different ways. Maybe it's that for like we talked about. I can't remember if it was on Patreon or if it was on our public show, but like, these officers all have union reps, and you cannot just pull them out of stuff without evidence or reason, or those union reps are going to get on your ass. It's basically lawyers that represent them.
Yep.
Also, incompetence runs wild through every part of our government, police and otherwise. So Kath making sort of a half-dumb decision while she's probably a little checked out already because they're forcing her to retire is not the biggest deal in the world. The point is, any little nitpicky crap I had with this show before got completely washed away by this finale. That's how good it was. And the way it was able to tie, like, everything ended up mattering, man. The chicken coop played another pivotal role. It's like the fourth scene that it had a big role in, like with Maeve and Jason ending up there. This was incredible.
I thought Inglesby's writing really shone through in this episode too.
Like, best TV writer going right now?
Maybe. When it gets to all of that, like yes, he does action really well. He does the thrills really well, but like the tie up with that first half, it's essentially the finish, the end of the thrill ride, and then the family stuff in the second half. Like, that's where he that's a beautiful marriage that he is able to bring to life on the screen.
He's so good with the humanity of it. He's so good.
And like these shows could, if it in different hands, just be really good, like B- kind of B+ kind of action pieces. They could be Heat, but outside of Philadelphia.
Right.
But like, that's not what he cares about. He cares about, I mean, he's great at that, but he cares about the Maeve and the Sam and the Emily and the Sarah and Tom finding purpose through all of these people and through all of these, the things that he's able to do post priesthood. And that's the stuff that really just like, I thought hummed this episode and kind of made me feel amazing about what this show was able to do and what it was able to say.
Yeah, look, some of the best shows and stories ever told, what they do best is an incredible job of tackling the complicated nature of humanity.
Yeah.
What it's like to be a human that has to make decisions based on morality and family and greed and all these different factors that come into play. And I don't know that there's anybody doing that better than Brad Inglesby right now.
Yeah.
Like this, especially considering this is the thing he followed Mayor of Easttown up with.
Right.
And to me, after the finale, this is an elevation. Like, Mayor was great, but this was phenomenal. Like, the way this closed out and what it left me sitting with, that's some rare air that this show touched for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because we ended up getting screeners. It's got nothing to do with that. If this had sucked, like I had already told Barrett when I got to watch it early, I was like, if it sucks and it's not even worth it, we won't even record Sunday. We'll just wait and do our show at the normal time. But the second the credits rolled, I was like, nope, gotta have to do this one early because it was that good.
Yeah.
And it was worthy of it. So I'm all the way in on Brad Inglesby now. This, whatever that dude puts out, I'm watching that shit. And I'm going to know going in, this might make me cry. Because it was, and it's just so well written, man. It's so fucking good.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You in for Task Season 2?
No, is that a possibility?
Well,
No, you got to leave this. You leave this.
light rumors, just like there were post-Mayor, I'll say. Remember, don't forget that after Mayor of Easttown, everybody was like,
we need more of this.
Season 2? Huh?
Yeah,
Who says no? Who
yeah.
says no? And then the pandemic kind of ended, and I think Kate Winslet said no. Yeah, I so far, like, 2 for 2 here on these kind of individual stories. So I'm happy for him to keep it moving and let these people go back to find different roles to play.
So it looks like Brad Inglesby gave an answer in a recent interview with Esquire, where he said, "I'd love to do another season of Task." This is a quote. "If people respond to Task and keep responding to Task, I'd love to tell more stories about this place because I love writing about this place." Brad, we know. Yeah. He said, "I do feel like I have more stories to tell. What I love about TV is just how many characters you get to explore. I really see myself as a character writer, not a great plot writer. You get to explore the Grassos, the Lizzies, and Aaliyahs. If I were to do a movie, unless I were Robert Altman, I just wouldn't be able to tap into that many characters." It's interesting. It's like he heard you say this could have been a movie. But also, an incredible self-awareness. Not a great plot writer. I would argue he's still a great plot writer.
He's still a good plot. He is a good plot writer. Yes.
But if you had to pick a weakness, like maybe that's the thing that he could get a little better at.
I mean, certainly it's the only fault that I had at any point throughout Task is some of the little plot details that we've hashed out.
Yeah, there was never a dialogue problem. Yeah. There was never a character problem. It was just small things.
A couple of monologues, episode 3 or 4 that didn't totally hit, but
But we're still better than 95% of the stuff you see. So it's like comparing it to itself and some of the great monologues we'd already seen. So it sounds like Inglesby is considering continuing Task a la True Detective. I wouldn't expect to see Tom Brandis again.
Well, in a way, I mean, this was not called Mayor of Easttown, obviously, that had a character's name in the title. But, like, this could be a shared universe with Mayor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, him writing another season of Task could be called whatever it wants to be. If it's in, essentially, the Brad Inglesby Delco cinematic universe, right? That version of the DCU. Or the MCU, the Montco cinematic universe.
But he specifically says, "I'd love to do another season of Task."
Okay,
so it seems like if it's a smash hit, which it should be. I don't know how well it's done numbers wise.
Well it's done either, yeah.
But it was an incredible show. Mm-hmm. Then you could take the Task brand and it's another task force working another case in Delco with a whole different crew, cast and crew. So I could see that and I would be okay with it. I just also he's 2 for 2 on these really good limited series. Yeah. Maybe just keep it, stay on that side. Keep doing limited series.
We talked about that final scene. What Tom is looking out at the window. Did you have any explanation for the little kind of arch? What is that called? You get married under one? It's like a
I don't know. That's what I kept trying to come up with that
an
word.
Altar? It's an altar, right?
I guess, yeah. It popped into my head. I was like, is that where him and his wife got married or something?
That's what I thought.
Like, is that maybe from their wedding and then they put it in the garden?
Do they ever show us that, though?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But that's why I had a little bit of confusion around that final shot.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I think it's just supposed to make you do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Think about it. What is it that he's considering when he's looking out that window? What is he feeling,
Yeah, so after that final shot, you get a little bit of name credits, all laid over basically scenes in nature.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Did you stay tuned for that?
Yeah.
And that also kind of like, crystallized something for me, which was how much this show was like set in the outdoors, in greenery, in the quarry, in the forest, in the trees, with the birds, like very, 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 the garden, like outdoor nature focused, which I thought
was earthy.
Yeah. And I haven't totally like decided what all that means yet, but it was different. Mayor was very much a little bit in like the more like gritty, it's still kind of suburban Philadelphia, but way more urban, way more, you know, pavement, sidewalk, neighborhoods, city.
Right.
And this was very much like in the sticks, in the outdoors, we're all surrounded by nature. And I feel like that must mean something for Brad as well.
Yeah, he made like the setting of rural outskirts of Philadelphia like a character.
Yeah.
Like that was a big part of the show. Like how many shots did they give us of random birds throughout the course of this season?
A lot. A lot.
Birds on bird feeders, birds flying, random like
A lot of bird shots.
There was a cool transition in this episode where when they're putting the posters up in Sam's room,
yes.
you get like a deer that's not moving, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's a really still deer.
Yeah.
And then it shows like another animal and another animal. I was like, oh, okay, we're doing something here. It was confusing for a moment there.
Another one. Yeah, the posters in Sam's room. All nature, all natural scenes.
Yeah, it did a lot for this show, that tie-in.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact motivation necessarily or what that was maybe supposed to signify. Outside of just like humanity being connected to this greater, bigger thing, in nature.
Yeah, I'm going to go touch grass after we're done recording.
Yeah, we should really go outside.
Yeah.
You and I. But man, that was fucking incredible.
Yes.
Task will absolutely be featured on my 2025 best of list when Barrett and I end up recording that episode, which we do every year. So, in the next couple months, at some point in December, we'll do a podcast that's just us laying out our top 10 shows, our top 10 seasons of TV that aired in the year 2025.
Sometimes we do that here on Adbest. On Adbest. Sometimes it lands on Patreon. So I don't know. Maybe just sign up for the Patreon.
You got to keep an eye out.
And just have all your ducks in a row.
You probably should be on Patreon at this point. We've got a huge 2026 on the horizon as well. So there's never been a better time to subscribe on our Patreon and support our podcast in exchange for so much more of our podcast. We've got A Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming in January, House of the Dragon Season 3 in the summer. 2026 is going to be nuts. If you enjoy our public sponsor-supported podcasts, you will love our Patreon page over on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles, where we have been dropping ad-free exclusive episodes of our podcast weekly for about 5 years now. Right now on Patreon, we are creating a companion podcast for every episode of HBO's classic crime drama, The Wire, Season 1. We are 12 episodes deep. Later this week, we will drop our companion podcast for episode 13 of The Wire Season 1, the final episode of The Wire Season 1, double finale week.
Wow.
We're loving it. Our coverage of The Wire Season 1 is friendly to first-timers and rewatchers. Barrett's a first-timer. I'm a rewatcher. So whether you have seen The Wire before and you want to do a rewatch, or you've been meaning to jump in and enjoy one of the greatest TV shows of all time with us, time to hop on our Patreon. When you subscribe on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles, you gain access to our entire backlog of ad-free content, including our companion podcasts for every single episode of The Sopranos, friendly to first-timers and rewatchers, our movie club collection with a companion podcast for over 20 different movies we've watched together, hotline call episodes for House of the Dragon, The White Lotus, Severance, The Last of Us, Succession, the list goes on and on and on. We love doing our show for you. We live to serve. We would love to continue to be able to doing that into the future. If you want to be a part of making sure that we can, join our Patreon today. There are over 2,000 of our listeners and viewers already subscribed on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles, supporting our show in exchange for ad-free weekly episodes. We would love if you would support our show by subscribing yourself. Choose the Clam Fam tier when you go to sign up if you just want audio access to our entire backlog and everything new that we drop into the future. Choose the Mollusk Militia tier if you want audio and video plus access to the Mollusk Militia exclusive hotline number and Discord server. If you like our show and want more of it and want to be a part of ensuring we are able to continue doing our show long into the future, subscribe on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles today. You can follow Barrett at Barrett Dudley on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me at WR Bolin. A reminder that our show is available in full video form on YouTube. If you've been listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you want to watch our show, youtube.com/@oystersclamscockles. You can also watch on Spotify now, I would know.
Yeah.
You have that option. Full video on Spotify as well as audio. Apple and Spotify people, please rate our show 5 stars. If you're on Apple, write us a couple sentences in the form of a review of why you enjoy us. It helps a lot for us to continue growing. And that's it. That's all I got, Barrett. Any last words?
No. Excellent finale. Can't wait to talk about another one later this week.
Thanks for riding with us. We'll be back later this week on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles to discuss and review Season 1, Episode 13 of The Wire, the final episode of The Wire, exclusively on Patreon for our subscribers there who are supporting our show in exchange for more of our show. Until next time, keep doing what you're doing.